So in this recording, we'll see a demonstration of Promptflow. Promptflow is a open source framework. It's a suite of development tools designed to streamline end-to-end development cycle of LLM-based AI applications, from ideations, prototyping, testing, evaluation to production deployment and monitoring. It is similar to Langsmith, and the utility of this framework is huge, right? So, for example, the demonstration that I'll show you today is where we will use Promptflow to calculate the groundedness of an answer using TrueLens. So basically, I have integrated TrueLens with Promptflow. And what it will do, let's say, after a run of my RAG, I have a set of answer and the context that was used to provide the answer. Now I need to see if this set of answer and context are grounded. Basically, if the answer is grounded to the context. So if I have a batch of these inputs or a list of these inputs where the source is the context and the statement is the answer, I can run Promptflow in batch to calculate the score, the groundedness, and then it gives a dashboard where I can see how it looks like. And I also can see how much token the groundedness, the model graded evaluation used, what is the latency and all, right? So let's take a look at it. Let's see how I created this. So first of all, to create Promptflow, these are the packages that needs to be installed. Since I integrated with TrueLens, I installed TrueLens Eval as well. And what did I do? So the main thing in Promptflow, the flow that we run is specified in the flow.dag.yaml. It's a YAML file where we specify the flow. For example, here I said that I'll have two types of input. One is a source, which is the context, and the statement, which is the answer, right? I could have named it context answer also, but I followed the TrueLens function parameters. So source and statement, and the output will be the groundedness score, right? And then I have only one node, but for this use case, but you can have multiple nodes. So what this node does is, the name of the node is getScore. It is a type of Python. And the source of this node is a code, which is a Python code, which I have written as a Python code. I'll go to this place. And the input it takes is the source and the statement. So what is the source? Inputs dot source and inputs dot statement, right? These are the two it takes, right? And if I go to the TrueLens groundedness.py, you'll see source and statement, exactly like how I mentioned here, source and statement. And then I instantiate the groundedness object of TrueLens. I create a provider, OpenAI provider. I gave the OpenAI provider. And then I say groundedness, the instance of the object dot groundedness measure with chain of thought reasons, right? This is again the TrueLens function, where if you give the source and the statement, basically the context and the answer, it will give you a score between 0 to 1, right? And this is the score that I'm returning, right? Now to execute this, I created a flow run. Now one thing, so in actually we should create a run and do a flow run, but for some reason in Mac, the run actually uses multi-threading underneath. In the Mac, it may be a defect within Promptflow. I raised an issue to see why it is actually giving a I'm getting a threading error basically. So to for this demonstration, therefore, I did not do run. I created the Promptflow client, and this is my list of input, right? This list of source and statement. So source is Taj Mahal is monument in Agra. It is situated in the bank of Yamuna, and the statement is Taj Mahal is in the bank of Yamuna, right? Similarly, the other source and statement pair is Eiffel Tower is a iron tower and it is in Paris, and statement is Eiffel Tower is made of iron. Now this list of source statement, I could have read it from a file, right, or from a source, right, and then for each input in the inputs, I'm extracting the source, I'm extracting the statement, and then I'm triggering the prompt flow. So this is the flow that we have seen, the flow dag.yaml, and the inputs, I'm giving the inputs as whatever I'm reading from the list, the source and the statement. So this flow will be run for each of the inputs with the source and statement as the input, right? And let me run this and then we'll see how it works. So let me do a flow run. So the traces will be created here. So let me go to the trace, right? So if you'll see, I have run it multiple times, so there'll be multiple records, but we'll not look at the other ones. So the one that we just ran is this flow. This is one for one input, and this is for the other input, right? If you see that it is giving me the end time, the latency, total number of tokens it used. Now, if I click on the flow, it will further give me the what happened in that flow, right? So I ran the groundedness, which called get score method, and the get score method or the function is calling the TrueLens groundedness, right? And which is using OpenAI chat, right? And if I further click on it, you'll see what happened within TrueLens, right? So the TrueLens prompt was that this was the hypothesis, and this is the so this is the prompt that was used, right, to create the score, right? And this was, I think, the user. So this is the system prompt. You are a information overlap classifier, providing the overlap of information between the source and statement. Respond only as number from 0 to 10, right? So in my code, I did not do any of this, right? But what it did, happening is the groundedness, right? This function within TrueLens has all this logic, right? So this was a system prompt that was used that respond only as a number from 0 to 10, where 0 is no information overlap and 10 is all information is overlapping, never elaborate. This is the user prompt, right? Eiffel Tower is made of iron. This was the hypothesis. Please answer with the template below for all statement sentences, right? And finally, the assistant answered that, okay, this the score is 10. Now in TrueLens, it is normalized, so it divides it by 10. So that's why the output of the groundness score was 1, right? And I can also see what was the input. This was the input that went in. What was the output, right? What is the raw JSON, right? If I would have used any tools with this, it would have come here and the exception would have come here, right? And it shows which model I have used, how many tokens, and what was the latency. So it gives me the latency breakdown at each level as well, right? So that's how it works. Like if I go back to, so this was the Eiffel Tower, same, it happened for the other input also. Here is the same thing, except the input and output are different, right? So this is how the prompt flow works. It I was not getting time to explore prompt flow. Today I did a lot of exploration on prompt flow, and I find it very useful. It's similar to Langsmith, and during development, RAG application to debug your code or to find out which experiment is the best experiment with respect to accuracy latency. I think this is a great tool. Thank you.